Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Animal Farm 2, the sequel to our mighty Azorius Synthesizer deck. We come armed with some removals, our standard payload of factories, a new way to find our key card, and a new bounce that fits perfectly with our synthesizer. We have some defensive measures, some of which will generate Robot Overlords. It's another round of Metal Mayhem, so let's get in there. We're playing the full set of Authority of the Consuls, the defensive card that also makes it more difficult for the opponent to block our Robot Overlords. As a bonus, whenever an enemy arrives on board, not only will it enter tapped, but will gain a life as well. 3 Steps Ahead is a solid card for any synthesizer deck. With it, we get 3 modes which all can be useful, especially the copy mode, which will let us copy any artifact we have in play. We can use it to copy one of our men as well. We can use the counter option to stop any cards that could wreck our board. And the dig option is excellent at helping us find more ammo or a factory outlet. Fabrication Foundry is a 2-mana artifact that ramps us but only helps us play out other artifacts or use the mana for artifact abilities. As a bonus, we can exile artifacts to get back artifacts from our grave and get them back in play as long as we get artifacts with the same casting cost or less. It's a great way to get back a factory that was destroyed. Spring-Loaded Sawblades is an excellent removal. It is an artifact which will boost the stats of our Robot Overlords while securing our life total early. Later in the game, it's a card we can sacrifice to a Repurposing Bay to fetch out one of our 3-mana artifacts. We can also craft the Sawblades into a 5/5 vehicle that we can crew for 1, or we can tap 2 untapped artifacts to activate it. In a pinch, this can work as an extra attacker or a surprise blocker. Perilous Snare is a fantastic artifact removal. For 3 mana, we can play it out and snipe one of their permanents, while also generating Robot Overlords if we have any factories in play. Not only do we take away their best card or their biggest blocker, but we add one of our AI men. Invasion Submersible is a new card that bounces any non-land permanent back to its owner's hand. And because it is an artifact, it will trigger any factories we have in play. If we need an extra attacker or a blocker, we can waterbend 3 and have the sub turn into an able and willing body. Repurposing Bay is a great card that can help us find a factory outlet or any one of our other 3-mana artifacts. We have enough 2-mana artifacts we can sacrifice to bring in our big guns. After we get a factory or 2, we can use the Bay to bring in other weapons to enhance our board. The Synthesizer is our key card. It will generate Robot Overlords whenever we play out an artifact that is 3 mana or more. When it enters, we get a Scry 2, which gives us a shot to find more ammo to trigger the factories we have in play. Worldwalker Helm is not just a great companion to the Synthesizer, but it can help us by making token copies of token artifacts we have in play. Copying a Perilous Snare will give us a removal every time we untap. And for only 2 mana. With every token artifact we generate, we also get a map token, which helps boost the stats of our Robot Overlords. The Legend of Karuk is a new card. It partners well with another one of our cards, and on its own, it will help us find cards we need. On the 3rd chapter, we get the Avatar Karuk. He'll generate a spirit token, but we can waterbend 20 to get an extra turn. It's an exhaust ability, so we can only get 1 extra turn, but that could be all we need. Planetarium of Wan Shi Tong is an amazing card that gives us additional plays, as well as a way to dig through our deck, and all for only 1 mana. It is legendary and costs 6 mana, which is why we have only a single copy. Its Scry ability is great, but we have other cards that scry to trigger the Planetarium. For lands, we're playing 2 Fountain Port, the special land that we can use to generate tokens as well as sacrifice them for card draw. 4 Temple of Enlightenment, the Azorius Scry land. 2 Meticulous Archive, the Azorius Surveil land. 4 Flood Farm Verge, the plains that becomes a duel when we have a plains or island in play. 6 Island, 4 plains. And 2 Adagia, the Windswept Bastion, the special land that gives us a legendary copy of an artifact or enchantment when we activate it, but only after we station 12 power worth of men. Playing the deck is fairly straightforward, as are most synthesizer decks. The early turns are all about keeping enemy men from taking too much our life away. Early defensive measures are critical in this enemy-heavy meta. Our key is getting a synthesizer in play, and we have cards to help find our factories. A bay can fetch one out right from our deck. Once we start building a board, there's not many decks that can stand up to the challenge we put forth. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Ivy. Spelling is not their strong point. We're kicking things off with a shuffler special. We do have a foundry we can play out to be able to play out everything in our hand. Keep your pants on. They play out an authority. We would make the same play on our turn if it weren't for the fact we want to play out our factory outlet on schedule. Our scry land shows us a verge on top and we'll keep it. They play out a channeler. Life gain is slow rolling at this game. Usually by now they've gained a point of life or two. Had we not drawn a third land, we'd have gone with the foundry. This gives us the opportunity to keep the Sawblades up. They play out a Nighthawk. It does have lifelink, but that doesn't help their channeler now. They send it, and we'll play out our Sawblades. Rest in pieces, bro. We draw another scry land, which is just fine. We want the Verge since that will give us 3 mana and we can drop in our factory outlet. Prices are being slashed for Christmas. On top, we have a land and the planetarium. While it is good, we might not have the time or opportunity to take advantage of it. A 3 steps ahead would be more in line with what we want now. They play out a fiendish panda. It's got a grow ability much like the channeler. Although the panda can't pass its counters on to other men. However, it will return something from the grave when it dies. This turn, we'll play out our authority and follow up with the snare. We'll snag the flyer to stop those hits. We can eventually deal with the panda. They were trying to be on the gain and drain plan all along. Flying men are a big weakness for us, so we'll need to figure out a plan to shut them down. We do have a helm which can help pump out our Robot Overlords. We get an untapped land and we'll play that out. That will give us the mana to play the helm and have mana to activate it. We'll hold what we got. Let's wait and see if they try to send their panda. They send in the Conqueror. It's only a 5 spot, so we still have time. Their panda will get bigger, but our Robot Overlords will grow faster than their bear. It's the end of their turn, so we'll go ahead and copy up. Our scry land shows us an authority on top. We'll send it on down. It's not what we'd like. Our turn 2 play is coming down on turn 6, finally. It will be the boost we need to make our men bigger than their panda. Now we can send it, and they'll have to decide if their panda is more important than their life total. I'm not at all surprised they decide to take the hits. We've cut their life total down to less than half of what it was. These damages cannot be ignored. We do have a pair of map tokens and 3 mana left. Let's use one and see what we've got on top. That's a 3 steps ahead. A little late, but there is a chance we can still make use of it. They drop in a Lunar Convocation. It's good card draw, but it comes at a price of 2 life per card. I'm not so sure that was a good move. I don't think they can survive our next attack. They draw again, and that takes them down to nearly within range of one of our Robot Overlords. Oopsie poopsie, bro. They tap down a blocker. Sure, we go down to 4, but how are they blocking all 4 of our Robot Overlords? I only see 1 blocker over there. We'll use our 3 steps ahead to clear out the single blocker they've got. Then we can send the squad for punishing hits. That's GG's extra Robot Overlord cheese. This is dump 13 inches long. I didn't need to know that. Also, you forgot the letter U. We get yet another shuffler special, but once again we have a foundry to get us to 3 mana, and we can play out our factory on schedule. Keep your pants on. We draw a scry land. That would have been nice on turn 1. Anyways, we have our foundry to play this turn. Let's stay on target and keep to the schedule. Stay on target. They play out an Amalia. Is this another gain and drain believer? It's time for our factory. Slashing prices and delivery of all robotics is always free. On top, we have a helm and a Legend of Karuk. We already have 1 helm, so we can send this one on down. The legend is fine, but it is 4 mana, and our mana will be tied up with what we have in hand, so it too will follow the helm. Our scry land shows us a fountain port on top. We'll take it. That gives us the 5 mana we need to play the helm and activate it right away. They play out a Sheltered by Ghosts. It looks fantastic now, but it is horrible against removal or bounce. And those are very common in the current standard. Predictably, they snag our factory. We'll play out the second factory. The price slashing won't stop just yet. On top, we have a Legend of Karuk and another foundry. We'll ship the legend. It's great at helping us find key cards, but we've got a handful of those already. We just need time and opportunity to play out what we got. We'll keep the foundry, as those can be sacrificed to a bay if we don't need them. They drop in an Elenda. It does have menace, which means we're going to need to get cracking on our Robot Overlords, or dig up some of our snares. We have to go with the helm. It'll make our first Robot Overlord, and we have the mana to make a copy of it. They play out their second Sheltered by Ghosts. They snag our second factory, but it's too late for that. We've got an active helm and a Robot Overlord. In a matter of turns, we'll be able to start firing back. They're not really going to send it, are they? Amazingly enough, they do. They must not be very familiar with the helm. Oopsie poopsie, bro. All they gotta do is read the card. This is where we block up and get our factory back. On top, we have a Sawblades under the 3 steps ahead. That will be fine. We'll keep both in that order. They play out an Innocence. It's a decent blocker now that we are going to start pressing. Let's get in there. Amalia cannot block while she has a factory. All that's left is the Innocence, and it won't be nothing more than a road bump. They drop in their Lunar Convocation. Sure, they can draw, but it will cost them life. And they follow up with a Channeler. When it comes to our men versus theirs, you can always bet on Robot Overlords. To my surprise, they send it again. We'll take this opportunity to make a surprise synthesizer. Don't you just hate it when a factory pops up out of nowhere? On top, we have an Authority under the Sawblades. Let's take the Authority first. Messing up their blocking schemes should give us an edge. We'll block Amalia. The 2 damage from the Innocence won't matter much in the grand scheme of things. With only a single blocker, we should have them on our attack. Someone should ask Amalia what it's like to run into a brick wall. We cracked that skull. We get our second factory outlet back. That removal was so good, wasn't it, bro? GG's, Fractured Skulls cheese. This is Slug. He can't afford to get salty or he'll turn into foam. We get a 3-lander this time. We have a Legend of Kuruk as well as a bounce. Not the best hand, but we'll give it a shot. Keep. They play an insidious fungus. It likes to eat artifacts or enchantments. We'll have to be sure not to play anything important out while it's still on board. For some reason, they hold back. They're being cautious for some reason. We'll use our submarine to stink their battleship. In the face of bounce, they use their fungus to smash our foundry. I thought they were going to nail the submarine, but this is even better. They play out a Revenant. It can be a pain, but any flyers are a pain. We draw another 3 steps ahead. This turn we'll go with the Legend and see if maybe it can dig up something useful. On top we have a Sawblades and a land. I do like both, but let's draw the Sawblades first. They double down on Revenant. It's good enough to go the distance, they say. On top we have an Authority and a Scry land. We'll ship the land. We have 6 lands in total, and that's enough for even our top end to see play. We'll play out the Authority right now. We'll wait to surprise them with the Sawblades after they send it. They send it right away, but we'll chop down one of these Revenants before the hits land. They play out a Smelf, if you can smelf what we're cooking. And they follow up with a cheerful Vanille. So many men, but they're all rather small. We draw another Legend, but we're focused on defense at the moment. We want to make copies of our Sawblades to take out their men when they send it. They use the powers of the dead Revenant to give Vanille flying. What it doesn't give is vigilance, and that's what matters. They send it. We'll go ahead and copy. We even have enough mana to pay for the dig option. We drew a Helm. With it in play, we can make a copy of the Sawblades token we just made every time we untap. We'll take out Vanille first. It has a partner it likes to team up with to become something bigger than the sum of their parts. They play out another fungus. We'll definitely want to see it gone before we play out our Helm. It looks like they are already eyeballing our Kuruk. We draw our second Helm. Now we don't have to worry about losing the first one. Before we play it out, let's get in for hits. Attacking might get them to trigger their fungus. They keep their fungal friend intact, so we'll drop in the first Helm. They do go for our helm. We'll go ahead and use it before it is destroyed, and we can take out their revenant. They burn their last revenant to make a super smelf. It still only hits for 1 damage, but it will now trade with anything. They play out a black overlord for its impending cost. By the time we see it be able to attack and block, it might be too late. They got back a scavenging ooze, but they flushed away one of their roots. We draw the planetarium and a decision will have to be made. We've got an excellent choice of cards to play out. The planetarium and the Legend of Kuruk work so well together. The helm will keep us making token Sawblades, and those can keep us safe from their manland. Plus, we can make a copy of the submarine and start bouncing their men. I think I still like going with the helm. We can keep enemy men from coming in. They play out their ooze. It'll enter tapped thanks to our authority. And they follow up with another smelf. Their last card was a land. They've got nothing but top decks from here on out. We'll make a Sawblades token at the end of their turn. We'll try to hit the ooze. If we can make them eat their men out of their grave, we'll have that much less to worry about later. If they get a roots down the line, it won't be as great. That's right. Keep eating men. You gotta eat one more, bro. We draw a bay. We've got a world of choice in our hand. The bay can get us a factory, and we can get all of them. We have plenty of token Sawblades. We'll drop in the bay, but leave mana up to activate the helm. On our next turn, we can start fetching out our factories. They fire off a claim territory. It'll fetch them a pair of lands, and they're that much closer to improving their draws. They send their ooze. This time around, we won't block it. As much as I'd like to, we don't have anything that will trade with it just yet. It's time to start turning Sawblades into better stuff. We could grab a snare right now and put a stop to their ooze, but getting a factory will let us start generating Robot Overlords that much sooner. On top, we have a pair of lands. We'll keep one. Getting to 7 mana lets us play out the Planetarium and activate it the same turn. Our tokens cannot block or be blocked. It's a growing source of pain for the opponent. Let's get in there. They sacrifice their dragon land to fetch out any dragon from their deck. It's dragon roots. One part of their deck doesn't make the other part better, though. They hit our Kuruk with a removal. That is unfortunate, but we are not out of it by a long shot. They send in their pumped-up ooze. It's big, but I don't know if it can survive an encounter with a Robot Overlord. You know what? Let's find out. That's a 15/15 Robot Overlord, nearly twice the size of their ooze. On top we have a land and a submarine. Let's take the sub first. We can use it to bounce their Black Overlord. We're gonna block your ooze, bro. That thing is puny and needs to go dig its own hole. They used their Regent to clear the board. What it didn't do was clear out our token Synthesizer and Helm combo. It's just a matter of time before it's GG's. Let's play out our submarine and bounce their ugly. We'll get a pair of Robot Overlords, which have lethality, and they have only their land to block with on our next attack. It's GG's, they just don't know it yet. They go to play out their blocker, but that enters tapped. I bet they forgot. Oh yeah, there's the explosion we've been waiting for. GG's, extra cheese. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.